All right, welcome back to Blocky Music, episode something, 50 something. We're doing Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo, and I'm joined by the usuals. I've got Janet and Alyssa. Say hello.
Hey.
Hello.
And we did Mega Man X, I think, back at the beginning. I think it was Blocky Music number 7. And then X2 was like Blocky Music like 15. And we're in the 50s, so it's been a long time. And I don't know why we never went back to it, but it was about time.
I mean, you're the one that chooses.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
that's why. I'm just
truly.
I don't know why I never went back to it, but I was going through and I was like, it's been at least a year since we went through Mega Man X. So let's revisit our blue boy.
He decided he wanted us to break his heart in other ways. He knew Mega Man's too much of a slam dunk hit for us, so he needed his heart broken.
Well, so X1, if I remember correctly, you guys has had the best rating out of anything you guys have given. Like, if I think Mega Man X1 has been the highest rated anything in Blocky Music history, dating back 2 years. And then X2 was like, So now we have X3, still on the Super Nintendo, and you guys know what Mega Man X is, so we are going to just move forward. And the first one is Blizzard Buffalo. Okay, Janet, Blizzard Buffalo.
I like the constant beat in the background and the creepy sounding sound in the front. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, there's a more like prominent sound, and then the other one was just like in the background. Blizzard Buffalo stage. We're gonna start off with something basic. I'm gonna do 3.
Okay, a 3. And then Alyssa?
I like how it picked up in the second half of the song. When it first started, I was like, what is this? This isn't Mega Man. This is very lax. We're just like trudging through a sad storm, aren't we? I mean, I do like the instruments, and like when it picks up, it sounds very anxious. Like you don't know what's coming at you. It's all right. It's decent. I don't know. I'd give it a 2 if it were me.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna agree with Alyssa. I'm gonna give it a 2. Cause
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the main thing is just like when I think Mega Man X, from what we've heard, it's a little bit more pumped up, and this one did not have the pumped up. Even the ones that were like snowy or slower levels, were not that slow. So, yeah, I don't know. It just not my cup of tea. But we're just getting started. So the next one is I don't know. Is it crayfish or crawfish? I've heard people say crayfish, but it's spelled crawfish.
Who says crayfish?
Okay, Alyssa. I mean, you lived around the ocean.
It's crawfish.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
If you really need an answer, it is crawfish. Or at least that's how they pronounce it where I grew up.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not from there, and so I just, Anyway, crush crawfish. All right, crushed crawfish, Alyssa.
It kind of started like, oh yeah, this is what I kind of am used to Mega Man, but again, it's not pumped up. It's not like, it's very lax. I feel like this is gonna be a trend with this album. I'm a little afraid right now. I like it better than Blizzard Buffalo. Like the little guitar lead is kind of nice. It's all right. I don't know. I'd give that a 2, but I'd put it above Buffalo Boy.
Buffalo Boy. Okay, Janet.
I mean, I liked it more than the Buffalo. I was getting Power Ranger vibes.
Yeah.
Let's see. A 3. A 3.
Okay. I mean, that checks out with what Alyssa said. She said it's better than Buffalo, but not really anything outstanding. So I'm down with the 3. I think it definitely has more energy. And yeah, it does have a very Power Rangers-y feel to it. But it definitely has more energy than Buffalo. So it at least feels like you should be shooting around the little robots or whatever. Cool. So the next one is Neon Tiger. Okay, Janet, Neon Tiger.
I think I know why we haven't done Mega Man. I think it's coming to me.
Oh.
We're taking steps backwards. We're not.
Yeah, we are.
God, it's not. There's nothing that's anything. Nothing. Just it's just sound. It's sad. 2? That one hurt. I don't give out 2s that much. I at least give out 3s, but no, this one was a 2. I didn't really feel anything.
Okay. Alyssa, what about you?
Yes, it's a 2, but I need to add some flair text to this. So it basically sounds like stoner rock, but in video game music form. Is what this stage sounds like.
Okay.
I'd put it in between. It's in between the 2. This one's gonna hurt.
Okay. Seeing you guys were like, this is Mega Man. Well, it was going to be, it was going to be great.
Well, we didn't expect a letdown.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not done. We're not done. We have to
We're only
keep,
3 in, and it doesn't look all that great.
we have to keep an
so-
open mind. But
Volt's catfish, toxic seahorse. It sounds like we under the sea. Janet,
under the
you'll
sea.
see. Under the sea.
Get
But-
me out of
so-
here.
so
Get me above the sea.
So this actually, it's funny that you're like, oh, it sounds like stoner rock or something. Not that it is stoner rock, but people have said that this song is like a direct ripoff of a Guns N' Roses song. Like it has the exact same
is it?
guitar riff, has the same drum beat. It's just, obviously it's a little bit tweaked and it's on the Super Nintendo, but they're like, it sounds almost like identical to it, to the point where it's just like, you guys literally just gave up. So, yeah, X3, man. I don't think X3 is anyone's favorite, but we continue to blast Hornet. All right, Alyssa, blast hornet.
So this took a like turned down grunge punk music.
Grunge punk.
That's what I'm gonna call it. It. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's a little bit. It's more pumped up, I guess, than the other ones, which is nice. But it's still there's. I feel like excluding like Buffalo Blizzard, like there's nothing really stand out about any of these songs we've heard so far. Like all of the instruments just kind of bleed in together. So they just like this one, all the other ones, they just sound so like melodramatic. Like there's nothing. Like they're like, we're trying to be cool and edgy, but we're doing it so lazily.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying so far. I don't know. This is kind of better. I don't know. I'm giving these all a 2 so far. I feel like this would still be a 2, but you can put it below Crawfurish.
Okay. Crawdaddy. Okay, and Janet?
I mean, I liked it because I'm getting, again, more Power Ranger vibes. This is it's Mega Man, right? It's not,
Yeah,
it's not mislabeled.
It is Mega Man, yes.
I mean, I'll give this one maybe like a 3, not a 2. Okay, all right.
Okay, and then, I mean, based off whatever it is you say, I have a feeling it's going to go under Crawfish.
Yeah. I mean, we'll rate them again, but
We
right
will.
now, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do Blast Hornet there. So we're halfway through with the soundtrack.
Oh God,
it's not looking good. For reference, X1 I think were like there was like 5 5s, and like there was only one that was a 3-star, and then everything else was 4 and 5s. So that being said, here's the next one: Toxic Seahorse.
No.
Okay, this is Janet's turn.
We're getting somewhere now. This one felt more alive. This one was great. This one sounded like a Mega Man song. Mega Man X song. It sounded towards the end of that loop was really cool, and I think that stood out a lot of all these songs and this song in itself. So we're gonna do 4.
Okay, wow. And Alyssa?
Yeah, this one so far has been the best one. All the instruments, like there's actually some standout parts in it, like that lead like high little guitar solo. It has a nice fast-paced beat. Yeah, I agree. It sounds more like what we're used to from Le MEGAMAN. Yeah, Seahorse is bumping. He knows where it's at. I'd probably. I mean, it's definitely gonna be at the top. So you can just move it up there.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to give it a 4 because I feel like we've heard. I mean, in this instance, it would be a 4, but if I'm comparing it to like other ones, it would like other songs, it would be a 3. So I'm gonna go with a 3. Because
Okay.
it's still mid.
Okay. Just so we have some change, we'll have a 4. It's not a high 4,
Okay,
but just so we have.
But if you were rating it on your own,
I don't mind Seahorse's stage. Like, I kind of like it. It's I get it confused with Catfish though, so I for some reason get the two of them confused. So like I thought when it was looping, I thought Catfish was gonna start, and I was like, oh wait, no, these are two different songs, so it threw me off. But yeah, we'll just leave it as a 4 for now because it's still, I don't know, it still has the Mega Man X feel to it, or at least the Super Nintendo Mega Man X feel, because Mega Man X4, whenever we get to that, is not on the Super Nintendo, so it sounds completely different, like brand new everything. This is the last one they did on the Super Nintendo, which is they only did the first 3. So we'll leave it as a 4, and we'll go to the next one, which is Volt Catfish, and yeah, I'm just gonna click it. All right, Alyssa, Volt Catfish.
this one was it was a little bit better.
Catfish goes hard. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, he went hard, but he's still mid.
Damn. He tried his best.
Yeah, well,
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Yeah, the like, guitar lead was nice. The overall beat was nice. Like, again, like the instruments were a little bit more standout and didn't kind of just like sink in and meld into one another. So I would say like Kitty Cat Man can have a 3 and be the second.
But before I say it, Janet, before I,
I liked it. It was nice. It was different than the other 3, the 2s that we've had. I'll do a very high 3. Top of the 3s.
Okay. Top of the 3s. I thought Catfish was better than Seahorse, but whatever. Down to the last 2, we've got Tunnel Rhino. Okay, Janet, Tunnel Rhino.
Like on its own, it's okay, but comparing it to the rest, it's unique. It has its own little flair, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all the sounds that I heard because I wasn't getting anything from the other ones. But But again, if I was just listening to it by itself, it was whack. But like compared to everything, it was something. So, with all that in mind, we're gonna give it a 3, and I don't know where. So you can decide on that.
Alyssa, you can be the judge of where it goes.
Okay. See, I actually like this one.
Oh,
I like the little
God.
like that, the little sound in the background. It had a nice beat to it. Like it had character, like even, and it's very different from the other ones. Like it definitely stands out. Like even though it's slower paced, it doesn't have that like heavy guitar in front like some of the other ones do. I don't know. I like it. I like the beat. I'd give it a 4. I'd probably put it at the top considering like all these other things we've had. Like this one is this one's actually like, this has a good sound to it. It got a soul.
So with this one, I will agree with Alyssa. I think one of the things, and this happened in Mega Man X2 as well, and it kind of annoyed me, but they use the same like guitar riff sounding instrument as the lead for so many of these songs that they kind of like feel almost like so similar that it's hard to distinguish them. Like I mentioned specifically Seahorse and Catfish, and I was like, oh yeah, I always think these two songs blend in together because they literally both start with their little thing, and then they have like a solo that just goes like, like they both literally have the same structure, and then they crescendo and they end, and then they loop again. And I always confuse the two because I'm like, they're using the same exact drum sounds, the same exact bass sounds, and the same exact like guitar sounds. So it's really hard to tell them apart. And at least with Rhino, it still is using a guitar sound for like the, you know, like the rhythm guitars or whatever, but it's not the same sound. And it has more of like an ambient feel where like the there's a little bit more echo, so it feels wider as opposed to like just like, it's hard to describe, but like the sound stage just feels larger. So all that being said, I'm like, I personally, I'm not like a huge fan of it, but listening it to like this, I'm like, yeah, like it definitely has a little bit more care went into it versus some of the other ones. So I will say 4 is where I'd put it. So,
I guess
that's just me. All right. And we're down to the wire. We're down to the last one. This last one is Gravity Beetle. So I'm just gonna go. Okay, Alyssa, Gravity Beetle.
This one actually got a beat too. It's more complex than the other one. Like the lead, like high pitched guitar is it hits like some really high notes. I don't think the other ones do. It has that nice like consistent drum track in the background. Yeah, I don't know. Like again, this one actually has character compared to the other ones. It has soul. It has like you're fucking tromping around doing stuff. I'd give it a 4. Oh god. See, I really like the beat of Rhino Boy. I don't know. Though this one's more like Mega Man-y, so I guess you could put this one on top.
Okay, Janet, Gravity Beetle.
she wanted it where?
At the top of the list.
At the top of the list. At the top of the list. No, I agree. I liked it. I actually, I was gonna go to 5.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what is this little girl gonna do?
I really liked it. I was just curious. I'm like, wait, where did she go on it? Yeah, no, it was cool. For some songs, like I'm not too big of a fan of blocky music, so I won't listen to it on my on own time or whatever. But for that one, it's a nice little beat. I liked it, and compared to the other ones, which are slow and have nothing going on, I like this one. So I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5. It is the best one in the soundtrack.
Okay,
by
that's
far,
fine. You know what? I'm not gonna
without
complain about a
question.
5.
Like this one, I think.
I'm not gonna fight with you guys.
I think this one could fit in with X1, like somewhere in X1, and it would compete with those ones. Like that's how much I love this one. It also is. It's the only one out of all of them that I think, like you said, has some sort of like life in it. Like it feels more like just complete. Like some of the other ones feel like they didn't put in all the little tweaks at the end that they usually do to make it sound bigger and fuller and more, grand. Like that one is one of the only ones that actually feels like it has that like grand sense of like, I'm an adventurer and I'm doing this and I'm the hero. Especially when it hits those high notes, I think it does a good job of being like, oh yeah, you're playing as Mega Man and he's the light or whatever. So I don't know. I'm 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever. So
Wow.
Now we're gonna go backwards into the pits of hell and just do the bottom two, as we got two stars. So again, I just play a snippet and then I move on. If you guys need to stop me, just stop me. Okay, those are the 2 stars. Any changes?
Nah.
No.
Okay. Then we're going 3 stars. Okay.
Can we move Blast Hornet to the top of the 3s?
I mean, wait, pause. I was just gonna say, can we move Crush up 1? That's it.
Oh.
No, Blast Hornet.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about your answer.
Okay, so clearly
Sit
Volt
down.
Catfish goes at the bottom. And then I'll play more of both of them.
I don't even know if Volt Catfish is going to the bottom.
Yeah, that one at the top of the 3s. Do it.
Yeah, Blast Hornet.
Just
At
move
the top
it.
of the 3s.
Just at this point. But I don't know about Volt Catfish, but you know what?
No, Crawdaddy's at the bottom of 3s.
So then put
Blast
Volt?
Hornet at the top.
So, okay, rewind. Say again.
I don't know.
I heard Crush
Okay,
goes
so
at
what
the bottom.
that's what I'm saying, and then leave it like that. That's perfect.
Janet?
Sure. I have the memory of a goldfish, so I think that's what we want.
Well, Janet, you did
Flounder.
Janet, you did want Blast Hornet at the top.
Okay. Great. That's nice.
And you were like, crawfish, no what? Seahorse is a weird one because you weren't sure if it was a 3 or a 4. We only gave it a 4 just to compete, so we wouldn't have. So this one, I guess you can compare it to the 3s.
Okay, so you're gonna play. Okay.
That's a good ass intro.
Yeah. Can we make Seahorse a 3-star?
Janet?
Sure. Trying to see if that.
But he also needs to go down.
Oh, well. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
There.
He needs to go, I feel like Volt Catfish is better. Yeah, you know what? You can leave it like that.
Okay. And then number 1.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, that's like no questions asked.
Okay. Well, this has been we've got every end of the spectrum here. Mostly in the mid. So yeah, Mega Man X3. I'm gonna have Janet give her final thoughts on X3.
Oh, so like I think this, like, okay, the songs themselves weren't bad. It was the way that, like, the order that they were presented to us that was horrendous. Like, it was just, they were not hitting. But it did had some good music in there. It was just all the way at the bottom, and then now they're all scattered. So if I were to listen to it in this order, I'm like, okay. Or even some of the like 3s or 2s, if they were in the middle, I'd be fine. But I think it's just the original order. But is it Mega Man like you pick the songs? I mean, sorry, you pick the stages. Whichever one. There's no order.
Yeah, there's no order. The only reason they're ordered in this way is because technically every this goes the same for regular Mega Man with like Elec Man and Guts Man and all that. They all have like a serial number, like the characters, because they're robots. So anytime they're in a soundtrack, they always order them based off of their serial number.
God, I got it. So when I'm playing the game, because I'm remembering it right now, when I'm playing the game, I can pick any
of these
stage
8. Yeah,
whatever.
You can pick it.
It's
you can
not
pick
like,
any
oh,
song.
I have to do gravity first and then tunnel.
No.
Okay, well, I don't know. We had a lot of we had a rough start. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Overall 6.
Overall 6. And Alyssa?
I think 6 is being too nice. Like, there's a couple of decent ones in there, but it's over. Like, God, this soundtrack. What were they doing? Was this Mega Man's like experimental phase? Like, you know what bands go through, where they're like, we're gonna try out some different shit and see how it works, and then it misses. And then
this game, when this came out, I think the PS1 and the Sega Saturn were already either coming out or like were out already. And those both consoles is where X4 landed, because it was, you know, like higher technology. You had CD audio quality, and yeah, it was just kind of like the next evolution of the stuff. But they released X3 on Super Nintendo because they were like, well, we've already been making them on this. We can just use a lot of the old stuff and put it out on this. And then we already know that there's like this many millions of Super Nintendos out there. Not everyone has a PlayStation yet. Not everyone has a Sega Saturn yet. So let's just make it for this. But then I think at this time too, they like their development teams, like they just had more going on. So they gave less resources to Mega Man because this is when Street Fighter took off. So they were making like Street Fighter and Darkstalkers and like all these fighting games. Because that was their like money makers.
Yeah. Well, this album can have a 5. It's very mid. It's very like none of these there's only like a couple standout ones, and then it's just very whatever.
Okay. Well, that is Mega Man X3. Hopefully it won't take us a year to come back to X. But the next one, like I said,
Victor,
is on the PlayStation. So very different sounding. And there's also a version of this game because it did come out. They re-released it on the Sega Saturn, and it's the same songs, but they're not in Blocky anymore. They sound like 80s and 90s synth music because they're made with like synthesizers and stuff. So very different sounding. Blast Hornet in particular sounds completely different, but maybe we'll do that one day. But anyway, that's it for X3. Stay tuned for more Blocky music and more Mega Man. All right, bye.
Bye.
bye.